Hey guys, Vass here from Aussie Playground. Today we're going to be reviewing the Trainstar Exchange, and I decided to do this while I fly the plane. So let's get her in the air and then I'll talk you through some of the pros and cons on this guy. Now this is a 1100mm wingspan aircraft. It does come with two main wings, one for a 3-channel setup, the other one for a 4-channel setup, which is what I'm flying with right now. And as you can see, the plane flies really nicely. It's actually very easy to maneuver. It's very precise, and it's become my favorite aircraft. I've never crashed this one, believe it or not. I've had some mishaps with some of the other ones I have, but this one here, just a reliable platform. I haven't had any issues with electronics. Nothing's overheated, nothing's cut out. It's just been a really nice aircraft to take to the air. Can be fairly docile the way that it is being right now, although I am flying it on low rates and I do have a bit of expo to make things nice and smooth. And as you can see, you know, I'm just cruising it around. I'm keeping it around about half throttle and keeping it fairly low so you guys can see the plane up and close. Have a good look at it. I guess we'll start with some of the negatives on this guy, because there really only are a couple. Putting the plane together was actually very easy, which is ideal because the plane is marketed towards beginners, having the 3-channel setup and having the optional wing for a 4-channel setup when you actually get a little bit more experience. So putting it together is actually real easy to do. I did find that the stickers would curl on themselves when I was trying to apply them, which is, you know, it's not a big deal, but it's just something to keep an eye on. I do have an unboxing and build video of this guy, which will be linked in the description box, so you can check that out if you haven't already, and that'll give you some insight as to how this guy goes together and how quickly it'll go together too. But yeah, probably just the stickers would be the only negative point I have about it as far as putting it together. The other negative I'm going to have is just the aircraft itself is actually very light and it's not very big. So what tends to happen is if you try to fly it on a breezy day, it doesn't have to be super windy, but anywhere between 10 to 15 km/h winds, you will find that the plane will struggle. It doesn't have a very powerful motor in it, so trying to fight the wind with this guy is a bit futile, I think, because I've flown it in 10 to 15 km/h winds and it struggles a lot. And even if you can get it in the air and fly it reasonably well, landing it becomes a bit of a hassle because the plane gets pushed around so much. So not ideal for windy conditions. You do want to sort of pick a day, possibly like today, where it's fairly still, although there is a breeze coming from the right of me. Yesterday I actually flew this in the morning and I found it was a lot less wind and the plane was a lot steadier. Today with a bit of a breeze you might notice that it'll kind of kink here and there, especially on the turns. That's just the breeze kind of pushing it around a bit. But I would say anything up to 10 km/h winds, you'll be okay with it. If you're going to fly in conditions that are a bit worse than that, you probably want a little bit more experience, and you might find that it's not as enjoyable. You won't get as much run time because you're going to be at full throttle a lot of the times fighting the wind. So just something to keep in mind. Other than that, I have to say that I absolutely love this plane. It's my favorite plane. It has sufficient power. That's full throttle there. So you can do, you know, a couple of acrobatic stunts. I'll see if I can do a nice little tip stall for you here. There you go. And another one up on this side. So no problem there. Bring it around. So it can perform. It does have sufficient power to have a bit of fun with it. It is acrobatic enough to really expand your skill level, especially with that 4-channel wing. And I think it does very, very well. I do have it currently on low rates, but if I flick it over to high rates just quickly, and I'll go full throttle here and just quickly snap a roll. There you go, so you can do it. And I'll do a nice low full throttle pass. Well, that wasn't really full throttle, to be honest. Let me try that again. Let me line them up so you can have a nice good look at it. Okay, full throttle. There you go. Climbing a little bit, going against the wind. Loop. No problem. And there we go. Beautiful plane to fly. Real easy. You can see that's hands off, even going against the wind. Flies nice and straight, although the wind is pushing it to the left a little. The only thing I can say, I mean, for a beginner plane, because it does have a front mounted prop, you do want to make sure you have a little bit of simulator experience, because the last thing you want to do is get something like this, think that you're gonna take to the skies real easy, and then nose the plane with no experience. You're going to find that you're going to damage the prop, you're going to damage your motor mount. That whole front end is susceptible to a fair bit of damage if, of course, you come down nose first. So you do want to keep that in mind. My suggestion is get onto a simulator. I mean, before I started flying, I was told several times to get a simulator and practice on that, and I was very skeptical of it. But let me tell you, it's the best advice that I was given, because after trying to fly on a sim, there was no way that I would be able to take to the skies and bring the plane down safely if I hadn't had that practice. It would have been a very expensive learning curve, I can tell you that. But this way, with the simulator, I know that I can fly this quite confidently, and unless I make a really horrid mistake, the plane is not going to get hurt, at least in my hands, so it should be okay. If you do want to maybe get something that doesn't have a front mounted prop, those gliders that have a rear mounted prop are always a good option. No landing gear, so it does make a little bit easier to land, I guess. Just a belly lander. You don't have to worry about damaging the landing gear if you come down a bit hard. Gliders are generally just foam, although there are some balsa wood ones out there, but just get a nice foam glider similar to the Bixler that I have, and that'll be a nice good practice. They're easy to put back together if you do have a nasty crash like I did on my first flight. And yeah, just real nice learners. They're very stable. This one here is fairly stable as well. I mean, it does have its limitations because of the wind, because it is so light. But other than that, it's just a beautiful plane to fly, and I love this thing. Absolutely love this thing. I could do this all day. I know I'm just going around in circles, but it's because I'm doing the review at the moment, and I'm trying to do a knife edge. I've got it on low rates. I won't be able to do it. I'll try and flick it over to high rates, and I'll see if I can do a bit of a knife edge here for you. No, that was all sorts of messy. Let me try that again. I needed more throttle on that one. It wasn't too bad. Wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't too bad. So you can do little stunts with this guy, and of course, you can fly inverted with it as well. Whoa. I'll see if I can go inverted here just very quickly. I do get some height when I go inverted because I'm not the best inverted flyer. And you can see it's not really doing it for me today. I think the wind is a bit stronger up there and the plane's not liking it. Let's flick this over to low rates again. Keep it nice and smooth. Well, I think I've shown you enough of this guy. I'm going to see if I can bring it in for a nice landing. Not before I do one of those. And another full throttle pass. Full throttle all the way. Snap a roll. There we go. Nice and easy. Over the trees. Slow it down. Bring it around. I'm going to land into the wind. So just slow it right down there. And look at that. Beautiful. There we go, guys. That is my review of the Trainstar Exchange. An absolutely beautiful plane. This is my favorite plane so far from Hobby King. Wish they made a slightly larger version of this one, which I think they do, but I don't think it's as good as this. Great for beginners, or even if you are a seasoned flyer and you just want something that's nice and cruisy and easy to fly. This is a good one, or a good option to go for. That is it for me. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you next time.